Hello, 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 everybody. It's your girl, Ashley, the Amateur Expert, and I'm coming to you live today for the Amateur Expert Show. Today I'm interviewing Leyanne, and she is a wellness coach, amongst other things, and I'm excited for you to hear about her journey. If this is the first time you've listened to the show, the idea is to discuss her career path. We will discuss her tips and motivators that she used along the way, as well as her idea of success in the beginning. And what it is now. So she's in the room and we'll get started. Just waiting for her to join in. There she is. Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, beautiful lady. How are you?
I am great. Thank you for asking. So if you can, please introduce yourself and let us know who you are and what you do currently for work.
Okay, awesome. So hello, everyone. My name is Leyanne Oliveira. I am a wellness and healing coach for women. So essentially, I help women, really change makers and leaders, self-explore and self-heal so they're able to lead from a place of authenticity and true connection with themselves and confidence.
Lovely. And when you were a little girl, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Oh, so that's a good question. So interesting enough, I wanted to be an actress.
Okay.
I was super into acting. I think I have such a big imagination. I've always been a dreamer and a visionary. So I had all these scenarios that I wanted to play out. And yeah, it led me to want to be an actress.
And what was your idea of success? Like, what did success look like to you when you were pursuing or thinking about having that dream?
So as a little girl, it really didn't come with much. I think just wanted to, again, live out those dreams, all those visions I had, bring them out into the physical, being able to express myself and allow others to see how diverse I could be and how I could play out this character and this other character, which was a very innocent way of looking at success.
But pure, I think, and also can be translated into maybe what your idea of success is today.
Yeah.
And so what made you pivot from being a dancer, and then sort of can you lead us on your journey from the idea or the dream of being a dancer to being a wellness coach now?
Okay, so it's so funny because you're asking me when I was a little girl. So it's actually acting, actress. So I never pursued
Oh, I'm
acting at
sorry,
all.
that's right.
I never
Okay.
pursued it. I never even, I think I had mentioned it probably to my dad once, that I wanted to pursue that. And I remember very clearly him telling me that's not going to go anywhere. You're really not going to make money with that, or it's just going to be really hard for you to do. So I think as a very young girl, I let that go completely. So after that, entering like my teenage years in high school, I wanted to be a businesswoman. So
Okay.
I think I really followed his advice of like what's going to make me money.
Money.
And I was like, okay, what's gonna make me money is I can't imagine working under someone. So what's gonna make me money is being a businesswoman and having the sue and walking into an office. So that's kind of what I pursued. And so I went to the University of Rhode Island and I got an accounting degree.
Okay.
So right out of college, I actually became an auditor.
Wow. Okay.
I became an auditor, was working for Ernst & Young. So very quickly, I was making a lot of money, which was my vision, right? So I attained this vision of money very quickly. But I noticed very quickly, I think within the first year it was like, okay, because I was like in it, I was making the money. I felt like I made it. Then year two started coming on and I just kind of felt really unhappy. I think it was a big clash between like the personality and the spirit. So the personality was pursuing this thing and eventually it got it. But the spirit was just like not really happy. It just knew that that's not where I was supposed to be.
Right, you weren't fulfilled.
I was not at all. And then but it was like I wasn't fulfilled, but I could deal with it. I could still wake up and go to work. But once year 3 came in, I just couldn't deal with it anymore. Like it was, I remember like vivid memories of me like driving to work, and I just kept thinking to myself, like, this cannot be life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this cannot be life that I have to wake up. I literally wake up at 5, 6 in the morning. I got to be at work for 7:30. Then I get home by 7. Then I got to pack lunch, and I'm back at the same thing again. This
Right.
cannot, and I just, again, being the visionary and the dreamer, right? All creating all these alternative realities in my,
Yeah.
in my mind of what I wanted to create. This was not it. So it was
Right.
a huge, like real moment. Like I hit the real world, like they say. And that's quickly kind of what started my spirituality journey. So my self-healing, my self-exploration, which I just became so passionate about. It completely transformed me, changed me from the inside out. And that's what led me into the work that I do now.
I love it. And I think that's probably why you are so passionate about it, because you lived it, and then you were able, and I think you touched on when you wanted to be an actor, that you the idea of success was actualizing your dreams. And so it seems as though you're still on that path.
Yeah.
You said money making, and you actualized that dream, and now it was like something that you can do that is also more fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, what is your idea of success?
Oh man, so this is so beautiful. I think your questions are like so incredible, because it's like bringing it full circle back to that little girl. So I think it's back to that very innocent and pure definition of success. Like for me now, it's really just being able to fully, authentically be myself and express myself in any room, as who I truly am. Like that's success to me. For me to be able to show up as who I am, like and be at peace with it, no matter what other things, what other feels, but just like walking in my path, like that's success. Like it doesn't have a monetary like number to it at all. It's exactly where I am. Like no matter how my finances look, even though it is important, like wealth is, and it just shows how it's all full circle. So wealth is still part of like the work I do. So most of the time I'm working with women, helping them self-explore, help them self-heal, which leads them to like their purpose. So then most of the time it's not something I offer publicly, but I do business development. So I end up leading into like helping them develop their business, because I enjoy it so much. It's part of the creation and visionary and bringing like this vision to life. That I still get to play in. But yeah, so success to me now is that definition in the beginning, just being able to express myself, which is just shows how amazing your questions are.
Thank you. But I do think it's true that we have this idea when we're younger, and then the world sort of tells us, no, that can't be your idea. But then once you do get back to your authentic self, in some way, you are aligned with what you thought success was. When you were younger. And so I love to see people sort of find themselves along the journey and see, I was really doing this whole time, or searching for this whole time. So I know that it's a struggle to sort of go into a room and not necessarily think about the monetary gains that you can have, but to just want to be your authentic self and be okay with it. So what would you say were some of your tips and motivators that you used to prepare yourself, or to gain the confidence to do that?
So that's where definitely the healing comes in. Like you mentioned, of us being like these pure, souls and spirits, like, from the beginning wanted to just come and experience, then society starts telling us no. So in the telling of the no, there's reasons why they tell you no. So my dad told me no, because that's not going to make you money. And then in these things that society tells us, we create these stories in our minds that now dominate how we interact in life. So in the beginning, it was hard because I had this identity of the girl that had money, right? So my identity was tied to the auditor, the businesswoman. So, shifting my career completely, being completely vulnerable with everyone, it wasn't easy in the beginning. Like money it was so hard. And there's still moments that I'm still healing through being able to do this work and build wealth for myself. But it's tied directly to healing. So I would notice myself walk into a room and then I would shrink.
Mm-hmm.
I would just, I couldn't be authentic no matter how much I try to push myself to be authentic and shine and still be myself. I couldn't, because of stories. I would just tell myself, well, Leyanne, you have no money, but you're not worthy. Like, here you are teaching people about spirituality. Like, you know, who's going to take you seriously? So all the stories that I was either told by my father or just people around me would come up. And that's when, you know, I would have to come home and really do the work. Like, okay, Leyanne, that is a story. Now, how do you change the subconscious programming that you have? And the more, and it's beautiful being an entrepreneur, because you have to do the self-healing with your business. It's not like working under someone else. When I worked for Ernst & Young, I walked in, you know, the sales already came in. I just had to pop myself at the desk, do a little bit of work, and leave. But when you're an entrepreneur, in a sense, a woman CEO, your business is directly tied to you. So my healing was directly tied to the success of my business. And the more I uncovered the layers of like the stories and the inner critics, the easier it became. Because then I just knew that not everyone in that room is for me. Not everyone's going to understand the work I do, and who I'm showing up for. Number one is myself. I want to give myself permission to be. And then secondly, for the women that are in the room that are looking for the same things, the women that are working at a job that feel unhappy, like I was feeling 5 years ago now. So it just, I would listen, be very mindful and aware of what it is that was not allowing me to be authentic. And then I would get home and do the work. And do the self-healing and the uncovering and unlayering.
And so that is definitely a process, because it's not easy to believe that the narrative can be changed, right? Because if that's what you've always been told and that's what everyone does and this is just how you're supposed to be, you start to think like, is it just me, or am I crazy, or like, what's going on? So thank you for sharing that. Now, what is something that you learned? And this, I think you sort of touched on it a little bit, but what's something that you learned or that you're still in the process of learning that you wish you would learn sooner in your career?
Oh, that's a good one. I will say, because it's just like it's prominent right now and where I am in my career, I will say the scarcity mentalities that were around me, that I grew up in, and how it impacted my work, and how it impacted the way that I didn't have boundaries in my work, the ways that I overextended myself, the way that there's so much stories that I had around money and just like scarcity that caused me just, you know, a lot of pain in the beginning of my career that didn't necessarily have to be there, which was directly tied to like self-worth and all these other things, but definitely understanding money, right? Because I mean, in some ways this is a business, so it's a career. So it doesn't, you know, for someone that's watching that's not necessarily an entrepreneur, it's their salary, right? You might have this idea of, you know, 55 is enough because that's a lot of money. You know, I come from, you know, my parents making 20,000 a year. 55 is a lot. Understanding my relationship with money, like you have a relationship with everything around you, just like people, you have relationships with material things. So what is the relationship that I have as an immigrant woman of color with money? And then uncovering that relationship and figuring out what's, excuse my language, but what's bullshit about the relationship, and unpacking that and letting it go. Because doing the self-healing had been so much about like the emotions that I had and the traumas that I experienced, and getting to know myself deeper, that I didn't really think money was part of it. I was like, you know, I was making big money at 21. Like money, my relationship with money is good.
Right. Yeah.
But it wasn't. It wasn't at all. And it's still something I'm unpacking. But the more I unpack, the more I see the abundance flowing in. So I could see how much I was blocking myself. This was strictly me. That's
so good. And it's when I do these, right, and I ask everyone the same questions, but each time someone says something different. And usually each week something like strikes us like a personal chord, like, okay, just move forward. Or, you know, so thank you for everything that you've said. So, okay, so you said it's been 5 years since you took the leap and you quit your job. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Bonus question. That wasn't on the list. Sorry.
I see myself doing incredible things. I see myself teaching. So I definitely want to extend the framework that I use in helping women self-heal in the specific, like I've learned a lot from a lot of different teachers and healers in my life, but I've created my own framework, which is very organic and allows me to work with my clients in a way that it's like, it's not traditional therapy. But it's, in a sense, there is some therapy in it, but it brings in a lot of spirituality, like a lot of understanding this world, understanding the energies around. So helping you step into this reality as a being, like a spirit being. So I definitely want to teach, like I want to teach this framework to other healers that are looking to do the same. So some kind of certification for sure. And I definitely, like now, I was just telling my partner, like I have a client in Canada, so I'm like, I'm global. So just like continuing to like to push the odds and just being international, being all over. Like I know how important my work is, and I know how much the world is craving it. Like we're just all looking to self-heal. So really global, a lot of abundance, hiring a lot of people, waking up, like really just waking up thousands, millions of people.
I love it. And you are not just a dreamer, but your dreams have been materialized over the course of your career. So I look forward to seeing and hearing how well and how great and how, how much of a success that you have become. And so my last question is,
question already.
I know, that was so fast. So I call myself the amateur expert, and I consider myself to know a little bit about a lot. So if you could please share with me a random tidbit of information or, a Snapple fact, something that will help me answer a $200, $400 question on Jeopardy.
Oh my God, that's a good question. And this is like about a specific category, or I just choose?
No, anything that I can say Leyanne taught me.
So what pops up for me is sharing where I'm from. So there are 10 islands on the west coast of Africa. That's called Cabo Verde. And that is where I'm from. So now you know that there are beautiful 10 islands that you definitely got to visit one day.
I didn't realize there were 10. So I have some friends that are Cape Verdean, but I did not know that there were 10 islands. So thank you.
Thank you. They all have beautiful personalities. They're all different. Some are really green and earthy, and it's like just like similar to like the Amazon. It's just very green and untouched land, while others are like party cities. They're like mini Miamis. People just want to party till 6 a.m. So they all have different personalities. So going to each island is like going to a different country.
I love it. And I actually am planning a trip probably next year. So maybe you'll be there. We'll connect.
Yes!
That would be amazing. And so today you posted that you were doing a 3-day something next week.
Self-challenge. Yeah.
Yes. So would you like to tell the listeners about that?
Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Absolutely.
So for all those watching, on the 10th, so next Monday, I am starting a journey back to self-challenge. So it's everything that we've been talking about, just the self-exploration and self-healing. So it's going to be 3 days. So I'm kind of compacting a lot into 3 days that I have learned, but it's almost like the awakening. So I'm hoping that the people that come on either have already some of them probably started their healing journey, but are missing some key informations to help their healing speed up, while others might be at the beginning. They might just be unhappy with their jobs, unhappy in their relationships, unhappy with their current reality, and are looking for some kind of change. This is the challenge for them. So we're going to talk about like emotional alchemy. We're going to talk about this reality and in a spiritual sense, the philosophies that I have experienced in my life, that I believe in wholeheartedly. We're going to talk about mindfulness. We're going to talk about intuition. And then specifically at the end, what's important is I'm going to be giving a lot of like self-healing tools. And this challenge is like, it's really it's a way of committing to yourself. So if you're someone that's feeling stuck, someone that just knows that you were made for more, there is more out there or more within you for you to express into the world, and just like kind of feel stuck and not sure how to do that, this is the challenge for you. And it's 3 days. You just got to commit to yourself for 3 days.
3
to
days.
show up for 3 days. And my heart's intention is to just radically just change, like, the information that I will share will radically change you from the inside out. Like, if you, from there, there will be some spark created. And if it's not a seed that you immediately feel the effects of, you will feel it later, because I don't do any of the work. I share the information, and then your spirit does. So I just have to share it, and then I know that your spirit will take you to the direction where you're supposed to go.
I love it. And so how do they find you? How do they sign up? Can men do it? I know that you're a champion for women, but who's available? Who can access this?
Yes. So I always share that women are my primary focus. However, I do have times that I have like kings approach me that they do want to self-heal and self-explore, and I usually don't turn them away. I do find ways that we can work together. So this challenge in specific is for both men and women, because the self-expression and self-healing is the same for all of us. Although there are some differences, but the core work is the inner child shadow work. It's very similar. So they can go on my page at Leyanne Oliveira on Instagram. Click the link in my bio, and it's the first Linktree link that comes up. Just click on there, sign up. It's free. So all they have to do is just click on it, sign up, and they join us. And then they'll get an email saying the Facebook group to join, where the lives will be on. They'll get reminders and things like that.
Beautiful. And so I'm so excited that we did this today.
Yes, your questions were amazing, by the way. I really love that.
Thank you.
That's where I gotta start them. I gotta start them at the child. They're gonna tell me the truth, and then I'm gonna show them how I took them full circle. That was beautiful.
Yes. And so maybe we can do this again sometime next year, or link up to do some more work together. But I think that I know that this was definitely a great interview, and I was inspired, and I hope that you inspired the listeners. This will be on Instagram for the next 24 hours, and then it will be on YouTube and Spotify, Apple Podcast, and iHeart. So I'll send you the links, and we'll inspire as many people as we can.
Yay! And I'll share this too with my email list, my tribe.
Perfect.
You were awesome. Thank you so much. I want to take some time and just thank you for having me on here and the beautiful work that you do. Just allowing people to share their story and share a little bit about their journey, because it's so different for everyone. But we all go through similar, twists and turns. So allowing people to hear that they're not alone is a beautiful thing. So thank you so much for, being in your purpose.
Thank you. Well, I hope you have a great night, and we'll talk soon.
Yes. Thank you, sister. We'll talk soon.